I met Matt Damon in 2000. When I worked for Springsteen, he did a bunch of shows at the Garden that I worked on at the end of the reunion tour, and they filmed it. And it was this wonderful 10 shows. And one night, Matt Damon came backstage, and I was like, hey, Matt, nice to meet you. It was my job to kind of entertain the guests a little bit. So I brought him into this room, got him a beer. And I was like, hey, Matt, it's great to meet you, man. I think we have, a mutual, I think one of my heroes. And I think he thought I was going to be like Robin Williams or, whoever. And I was like, he's like, oh, yeah, who? I said, Howard Zinn. And he's like, oh, my God, my mom was one of the editors on that book. And I read my first, I read the first edition, like before it was published, it was published in 1980, when I was in third grade. We're the same age, and he said, I would do my book reports in school about like Columbus Day. And I'd be like, Columbus was a genocidal maniac who was, and I was like, me too. That's how I grew up, So there were pockets of intelligentsia, and I'm not using that word to say, superiority. I'm saying intellectual, liberals kind of minded folks were interested in hearing and telling the truth. But Matt told me something interesting. He said, I've been trying to make a series out of that book for a couple years, and I got turned back down by the History Channel. I got turned down by PBS, I believe he said. He got turned down by all these things that you think would be into something like that, but it's almost too radical to tell the truth about this country because most people don't understand it and they don't want to think about it. Like I said on another episode, we're raised to raise, put your hand over your heart and pledge allegiance to the flag, and we're the good guys, and we won World War II all by ourselves, which wasn't the case. You never talk about the Canadians that fought in that war or the Australians or, so, there's this myth that we're this superior race, in terms of democracy, I'm not making an allusion to white supremacy, which is obviously baked into the whole thing. But so truth like that is dangerous.